Flosstube, it's Lindsay and welcome back to Blushing Pink Stitches. Today is Monday the 8th of July and I'm back for another Flosstube extra episode. So today I'm going to be talking about what my plans are going to be for the rest of 2024. So I didn't make many plans at the beginning of this year. I don't tend to do a lot of planning when it comes to my cross stitch just because it's a hobby and often when I make plans I break them. However, I came up with the idea of a WIP hit list for the rest of the year, and it was sort of inspired by Laura over at iStitchBird. She's had this list of, I can't remember how many WIPs it was, that she's been working her way through and crossing things off and doing other things in between and having new starts in between. But it's a way for her to work on some of her older WIPs. And so what I've done is I sat down and I made a list of 12 WIPs that I think I could finish by the end of 2024. And they are a mixture of some of my older WIPs and some of my newer WIPs. So I tried to be really realistic about how much I could get done in the 6 months that we've got left of the year. So I did have a longer list than what I've currently got, but I reviewed it again the other day and crossed off some ones that I just thought were real outliers that I wasn't likely to get done in the 6 months that we've got left to 2024. So I got rid of those, and yeah, I tried to be as realistic as possible. Like Laura, this doesn't mean that I'm not going to deviate from this list in terms of what else I stitch from my WIPs, because of course I will. And I will also be having new starts. I'm still working my way through my 40 for 40 new starts for this year. And I suppose I don't have to finish those by the end of 2024. I can just do them in my 40th year, basically. But yeah, so I am going to be stitching on other things as well. But I have made myself a wheel on the Spin the Wheel app that I've got, where it's just dedicated to, you won't be able to see it completely, but this is my WIP hit list. So when I feel inspired to pick something up, then I will. And I kind of want to work on 2 or 3 WIPs for my WIP hit list during each month, and then sort of scatter some other things in between. So I want to go through those with you now. What are they? How much have I got left to do on them? So that you can see where I'm at and what sort of things I'm likely to be able to cross off of my list by the end of the year. So the plan is to continue doing my 100 stitches a day on my supersized max colour stitching shelf. I showed that in my WIP parade. So yeah, I didn't get it out today just because I thought I don't need to show you that. I'm not going to finish it by the end of the year, but I'm going to continue on doing my 100 stitches on that. And if, for example, I spin the wheel on my other WIP wheel and it comes up, because it is on there, then I will work it for a couple of days of rotation in addition to those 100 stitches. I also want to continue on working my 2000 stitches a month on Quick Stitch Tranquil Tulip. So this is a Heaven and Earth design with the artwork by Hannah Disney. And I did do my 2000 stitches for this month. I was planning on doing a bit more than that because I didn't work on it in May, but when I worked out how much I've got left for the year, I can still get this done. So that's where this is currently at. So I'm planning on, this isn't on the list, but this is likely to be a finish, very likely to be a finish at the end of 2024. So it's over 50% now. I can't remember the exact percentage. I think it's something like 58%. Yeah, so that is where that's at. So that will be in rotation every month for a minimum of 2000 stitches. And then what's also going to be in my rotation is my Fruits of Plenty 2.0. I'll put a picture up here. This is the one that I'm stitching for my mum, and it's out at the moment because I am working on the 4th block. So this is going to be out for a block a month. So you can see here I started on the April block and I'll continue that today. I was thinking that this could be a finish for the end of the year if I do 2 blocks in a month twice. So this month I was planning on doing 2 blocks so I could catch up from the fact that I didn't work on it in May, because that was June, because that was a monogamous month for me. And then I figured out that actually I'd only have, hold on a second, so that would take me up to 5. And then if I did it again in August, that would take me up to 7. And then September, October, November, December. So I need to do it 3 times. I don't know about that. I'm going to try and do 2 blocks this month. But the plan is to get this done in a year, basically. So I started this in April, May. No, I started this in March. And I would like to finish it by March next year. I'm going to the Mirabilia retreat in April. And of course, Robert will be there with his framing service. And I would like to take this to him to be framed when I go to that retreat in April. That is the plan. So that's where we're at with that one. So yeah, that is also going to be a priority every single month. Okay, just fold this up. And then I've got my other 12. So actually, I did spin my WIP Hit List wheel on Saturday, and Summer Memory Jars came up by Susan Bates, and I've actually managed to finish it. So I finished one of my WIP Hit List already. So like I said, this is a pattern by Susan Bates. You can get it in Cross Stitcher magazine, and the details of which issue will be in my WIP spreadsheet for you to have a look at. But you can also buy this from her Etsy shop. And I have worked from both patterns. So I originally started working from the magazine, then realised that I could get a PDF and get it into Pattern Keeper, and then continued on. I have made a comment in the past so that the symbols on the magazine pattern are different from the symbols on the PDF from Etsy, so just be careful with that if you're going to switch. But this is done. I started this for the 9 jars sale like 2 years ago. And of course, probably everybody else has finished theirs. Lauren from Cross Stitch Bunny was running that. So you can do the summer jars, and she also has a like festive jars pattern, and I do want to do that at some point, but I will have a bit of a break. So yeah, they're just really fun scenes. So you've got Sleeping Under the Stars, Balloon Festival, Relaxing in the Garden, A Summer Holiday, A Day at the Beach, Clifftop Walk, City Nights, Let's Go Fly a Kite, and Poppy Field Walk. So yeah, this is the one that I did in this rotation. And this is quite nice actually, because it didn't have an awful lot of backstitch. It was quite easy to finish off. The only change I made to this was the backstitch for the names, for the words underneath, was supposed to be done in 1 strand, and I did it in 2 just because I wanted it to stand out a little bit more. But this is on a 14 count white Ada with all of the called for DMC, and I'm really, really pleased with how it turned out. My idea is that I'm going to turn it into a wall hanging. So I need to buy the wooden things from somewhere like Amazon, I'd imagine. And then I'm going to back this with interfacing, and then some sort of matching fabric. I believe Caterpillar Cross Stitch have got a tutorial on how to do it, because for another WIP that I'm going to show you, for Touch of Magic, that was how they finished that one off. So I know my friend Becky has done it, so I think I want to do the same with this one. It's really pretty though, it's really lovely colours, and I love how it's turned out. yeah. So that one is off the list already, which is great. And I've got, like I said, I've got a pile here of what I'm going to be working on for the other 11. So the first one is the Quilting Bee by the Blue Flower. I started this one in May. This is stitched on a piece of, I think it's 32 count. Oh no, it's 28 count vintage sun maybe, or something like that from Zweigart. It's a Cashel linen, and it's using all of the called for threads, which are a mixture of Gentle Art and Classic Colourworks. And this is where we're up to on this one. So I managed to get quite a bit done in one rotation. Did I start this in May? I feel like I didn't now. I'm doubting myself now. I don't think I did actually. When did I start it? Quilting Bee. No, I started it in March. So worked on it for 2 or 3 days, I think, in March. Yeah. And I managed to get that much done. So yeah, the next rotation, I'd quite like to finish off the second, that half of it. So finish off like maybe like the body of the bee, finish filling in the wing, and then bring these motifs across. I think so. Maybe this will be done in 3 rotations, which, yeah, that's doable. I really love this pattern. Yeah, so that is number 1 of 11. Living in this lovely bag from Jess Gets Stitching. This is Touch of Magic by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I worked on this recently in April, I think, and I've just got one more section to do with this. So I've just got the section that goes down here. So there's stuff that comes across from the ghost, and there's a little bit underneath that as well, and then this one will be done. So yeah, one more section, 2 or 3 days working on it in a rotation, and that one will be done as well. So yeah, that's also on the list. And I think I started that let's see, gosh, I don't even know. Well, I've got it here in front of me, I might as well look. Touch of Magic, I started in May of 2022. So yes, that needs to come off. Another one that is on the list is Hello Autumn. This is my own pattern, and this is the model that I'm stitching basically, and I just haven't finished it off. So you can find, I'll leave a link to all of the patterns in my WIP spreadsheet, but you can find this on my website. And this is stitched on a 28 count white even weave. Touch of Magic is, I think, 14 count grey Ada. And this is where we're up to. So I already have 4 of the letters done. I've just got to do A and U and the hello bit. And that shouldn't take me that long to do. So yeah, there we go. I've dropped the bag off of my lap. There we go. So that's that one. Next up is one of the ornaments, the ornament that I started from this kit here. This is Christmas Village Ornaments by Dimensions, and I started the bakery, so this one here. So the bakery is the only one, so I don't have to finish the whole kit because then it wouldn't be on the list. So I'm treating them as separate projects. Where is it? Here we go. And this is where we're up to on that one. I separated all of the fabric. So I have to fill in the building and then do all of the back stitch, and there's some French knots as well, I think. So there's still quite a bit to go on this. but what I've been doing is kind of like working my way down. So picking a colour at the top, bringing it down, picking the next colour, that sort of thing, and that's really working out. They're so detailed and beautiful. So this has had 2 rotations so far. So I mean, maybe another 2, maybe another 1, we'll see. So that is on the list. That's using all of the kit materials. Then we have got the Star Hunters by Soda Stitch. I started this one in June of 2023. This is stitched on a piece of 25 count pink splash even weave over 2 using CXC threads, and this is how far I got to. So the girl is completely done, back stitched, everything around her back stitched. So now I'm just working on the boy. So I think 2, possibly 3 rotations and that should be done. And I'm thinking I could probably fit another one of those patterns on this other bit of fabric. I'd love to do that. I have got a few more Soda Stitch patterns. A few of them are Halloween, but I can think of one other one that would be fine for that piece of material. So that's that. Okay, this one, picture up on the screen here. This is the Animal House by Satsuma Street. It was a stitch along in 2022, and this is my oldest WIP. So I started this on the 5th of May 2022. This is stitched on the called for, which is a 28 count raw linen from Zweigart, and it's using all their called for DMC. And this is how far I am. So this is going to be a test. I stitched 2 sections I think last year. I don't think I've touched it this year so far. No, I haven't. So I stitched 2 sections last year. So I have to basically stitch 3 sections. This is going to be, yeah, a toughie. But because it's my oldest WIP, I feel like I should dedicate the time to it. And it is really lovely. And it would look great in Bella's playroom. So we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of colour changes. Well, not a lot. There's a few colour changes. But it's a lot of block stitching. There's only a tiny bit of back stitch. So usually I can get a section done in like 2 to 3 days. So there we go. This one. Okay, this is Kids Alphabet by Eccentric Avenue. And I was doing this as a sampler. And I'll show you how far I got, but I have changed my mind about how I'm doing this, which is why it's on the list. So I was stitching this on a piece of 28 count white even weave, and I got the first 3 letters. Yeah, they weren't. If I was going to carry on with this, I'd need to figure out how I'm going to even it up again. However, I wasn't happy with the way that they were up and down, because they don't give you the pattern for the sampler. They only give you these as individual patterns, but there is like almost like a mock-up in the pattern itself which shows you them all together, and I was trying to stitch it as a sampler from that mock-up, and I did contact the designer and they didn't have that particular version of the pattern available. So I decided what I'm going to do instead is restitch A, B and C separate and do them as hoop finishes on this piece of 25 count like pink even weave over 2, and I'm going to choose my own colours to match her playroom, basically. I'm going to do it in pinks and purples and peaches and things like that, and just play around with the colours. This hasn't come out again because I've got to make some decisions about the colour palette, but I think I'm just going to wing it because otherwise it will never get done. So yeah, that's the plan with this one. And I think, again, like each of those letters is like a 2-day rotation. So if I could get that, you know, 3 rotations on that, and that could be done, we'll see. Okay, what have we got left? Oh, a few, yeah, a couple of really small ones. This one is Quirky Quaker Fox by Darling Whimsy Designs. They've got a shop, she's got a shop on Etsy. I started this for my 40 for 40. It's on a piece of, I think 16 count grey Ada, and it's using the cord 4 threads, which is ZMC 310 and Gentle Arts Burnt Orange, and that's where we got to. And I run out of the thread. It was the end of the evening anyway. So I've now got another skein of the thread, and he will be a finish very quickly. So yeah, less than an evening basically. This is the same with this one. This is a free pattern from Shannon Christine Designs. I only have like the pattern, so I'm just going to flash it here. It's called Easter Delivery. I think you can get it on her Facebook group and on her Instagram. And I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count even weave from Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics, and this is how far I got. So again, one evening and that will be done. It's a really sweet pattern. So yeah, and I'm sort of colour completing as I go. This is stitched in DMC. So I can knock a couple of these out really quickly. Then I have, go back to my list. Well, that isn't on the list. What have I shown you so far? That. Oh, well, that should be on the list. Oh, I'm going to add it and then make it 12 again. Okay, so this one is a kit from Magic Needle. It's called Pink Rose. Again, I started this for my 40 for 40. And this is how far I got. So I think another 2 rotations and that one will be done. I'm going to have to add it, aren't I? I'm using all the kit materials for that. So Pink Rose by Magic Needle. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, but 12 because some memory jars has gone off of the list. Okay, so we've added one. I did swap out. But yeah, I got it out of the drawer because it just was a bit of a given to me. Anyway, got 2 left. This one is Magnolia, and it is by, because this is all in Ukrainian, I think, or Russian, one of the 2. Velina cross stitch. And I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count ivory even weave over 2 with the cord 4 threads but in royal embroidery. And I think this is already at something like 35%. So this is where we've got to. So this is in Pattern Keeper. So the 35% doesn't include backstitch, and there is a bit of backstitch in there, although I'm not doing the I'm not doing this frame or the word. So yeah, that's where we're at. It's so pretty. Yeah. There's that. Okay, and the last one is Japanese Garden. This is a pattern by Cross Stitch Obsession on Etsy. And I'm stitching this 1/1 full cross on a piece of 25 count even weave, so it is really diddy. And I have worked on this month already for a second time. So I did write this on my Instagram. Let's have a little look what percentage I said I was at. So this is now at 39.25%. And I would say I only worked on this for one day when I first started it in May. So 2 days of stitching, I think I basically put in almost 30%. So I mean that could go up to like 60%. 2 or 3 rotations of this and then it'll be done. It's really pretty. Look at those colours. It's lovely. So yeah, I would really like to finish that one as well. So there we go. That is everything on my WIP hit list. So like I said, I want to be working on 2 or 3 of these projects every month. And then scatter in some other WIPs and some new starts as well. So I've quite a bit to do still, but I think I can get these done by the end of the year. And I started thinking about what should I set myself like a reward if I finish these. So for example, should I buy myself like a new like a kit that I've really wanted, or kit up a project that's like a special project? Yeah, give me some ideas. Let me know what would you do if you finished all of these from this list. Yeah, what sort of rewards do you think I should give myself, or reward one, but still. Yeah, so that is everything I've got for you today. I'm going to be back in a couple of weeks with a regular update. So I will talk to you about what I've worked on in between regular Flosstubes, or since my WIP parade. We'll see. Yeah, so if you've got any comments or questions, please leave them down below. Love chatting to you guys as always. I had a lady ask me about how do you put blends into Pattern Keeper. So I have given her an answer, but I said it might be a good idea for me to show that on my next Flosstube video, so that you can see, like, you can see me do that, like a little demonstration. That might be helpful to some people. So I'll do that in my regular update in a couple of weeks. And we'll do, yeah, we'll talk about other stuff as well. Like I do have a little bit of haul at the moment, not much. Yeah, so that is everything. I'm going to go and get some lunch and stitch on my Fruits of Plenty. And I will see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.